Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks. Tracy here, and well, I've just had a bit of a day of waiting in. You know when you're expecting a parcel, and you know, don't you hate that when you wait and wait, especially when they give you like a bit of a time guideline and they say it's due to arrive between 9 and 1:30 and it doesn't, and then you're just waiting and waiting until, and then you look on the website and it says before 6, and you think, oh God, I've got so much to do, I really want to get on, and yet you're just waiting and waiting for this. That was my day, and thankfully the postman was one that was a bit more on the ball than the other guy. And he was the one that my regular postman introduced me to that was going to cover for his holiday. So probably got him from now. And he brought all the labels. So, yeah, thank goodness for that. So I have all my labels and all of my orders have gone. Thank the stars. So if it wouldn't have been like a major issue if he hadn't have brought them all, I would have printed them out and stuck them on, but it's not so nice. And plus it's a bit of a job, so I'm glad I don't have to do that job. Brought the labels. I am absolutely over the moon. I just hope that my regular postman, whose name is Nick, does not go on too many more holidays, you know. Anyway, I just opened some happy mail and I did this video. It was probably yesterday now for you guys, but I got an emotional support chicken and I absolutely love it. She talks to me and everything. I love it. I absolutely do. Isn't it gorgeous? Look at the detail. She is fabulous. She really is. And I got this message saying, excuse the sort of knitting, so I haven't knitted for a long while. It's beautiful and very well done. And this was from lovely Sharon. Thank you so much. So at the moment, because I've only just filmed that other video, I'm not geared up, but this is going to have some pride of place. Yeah, he agrees. So I was thinking, I need some ideas, guys, for names for chicken. I can't just call it chicken, and it's from Sharon, so I was tempted to call her Sharon the chicken. And then if I get another amigurumi at some point, because I know someone's making me a llama, at least one. There was a few that were going to make me stuff. And if you do make them and you send them, I will still love them. I was going to call them Sharon and Tracy because, you know, you might not know this across the pond, but Sharon and Tracy is a bit of a thing over here. I think it was because there was this, I don't know if it was a comic strip or a TV show where common fat women were named Sharon and Tracy, and they were called quite horribly the fat slags. So yeah, and so for Sharon and Tracy become a bit of a joke, and then Birds of a Feather brought out their sitcom, and in that was Sharon and Tracy, which didn't end for me because my name is not Michael Caine, it's Tracy Stubbs. Okay, that was my married name. I've never changed it. But yeah, Tracy Stubbs. And in Birds of a Feather, the lead characters were Sharon Theolopodopoulos and Tracy Stubbs. And in it, the very first episode, they had an underwear party. And at the time, I was doing underwear parties for a living. And it turned out that Sharon and Tracy's husbands were thieves. And Sharon was living in a council flat in Edmonton, and I come from Edmonton. So it was getting very surreal for me, this whole thing. But thankfully I wasn't Sharon Theolopodopoulos. I was Tracy Stubbs, who lived in Chigwell in a mansion, but got there by, she didn't know it, ill-gotten gains. So the first episode, both of the men got arrested for crimes which neither of the women knew about. So it sent Sharon and Tracy into a bit of a tailspin, and then they moved in, like Sharon moved in, and it was all a funny thing. They had a neighbour called Dorian, who was a real posh slapper. And yeah, so, but every single, and then make matters worse, Sharon and Tracy's husbands, Daryl and Chris got sent to Maidstone Prison, which is just up the road from me. So it's like they were following me. And then I stopped doing these parties after that. Children started full-time school and I didn't want to work evenings anymore. So I got a job working for Asda. It was called Asda Dales. And I was in the office there. And so the day that the store was due to open, they got Leslie Joseph to open it. And she played Dorian, the posh slapper. And she, she had this big MC Minder guy who looked a bit like, for those of you in the UK who remember, he looked like Arthur Mullard. He wasn't Arthur Mullard, but he looked like him. And she was dressed, she was very too old for this, but she was dressed in a little crop top and a tight leopard skin mini skirt with like long tights and very big heels. Hair was all done like her character. And she was teetering around in these heels, doing a bit of shopping as a publicity thing. And I was walking back to the office and she came up behind me and she tapped me on the shoulder. And I turned around and there she was. And she said, "Oh, Tracy Stubbs, you poor thing." I just looked at her and I went, "It doesn't end there. But maybe I should be due for some royalties. I don't know." And honestly, we had a little chat. She was lovely. But yeah. So I thought maybe if I got another, it could be Sharon and Tracy. But then again, the names Sharon and Tracy, they don't always have good connotations, is what I'm saying. So maybe we should think of a really good name for my beautiful, adorable, super duper chicken. Yeah, I can't resist doing that because, you know, this chicken could agree with everything I say. Is mine the best channel on YouTube? Do you watch me every day? Sorry, that was a little self-serving, wasn't it? Oh well, never mind, you know me. So, oh sorry, I'm not groggy. There was another bit of Happy Mail I had a little while ago. I haven't forgotten you. I'm talking to objects. Sorry, look, I haven't forgotten you either. You're still there. She sits there and every now and then when I come in here, I sit down and my first thing I do is this. And I go, "Good morning, Lola." And she talks to me. And I say, "Lola, you are beautiful." And see, she understands. And I say, "Lola, I love you." And I kind of... She upstages me, I know. But she will carry on until she stops. Oh, look, she's sad. I put her over there. But yeah, there's going to be no room for me soon. I just have to lose a bit of weight. I do have a bit of tea. Here it is. Another Happy Mail from Linda back in the day when I had 5k. Tea tastes just as good as it did back then. And what I love about the card, it's got the llama on the front, the No Drama llama. Thank you, Sharon. I absolutely love it. And the knitting is amazing. And she said, "You don't might have to pull it into shapes." Perfect. Just perfect the way it was. So I just took delivery, which, you know, I said you was waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. It's really soul destroying waiting for deliveries. It was a delivery of tulips. Not that kind. Not from Amsterdam or anywhere like such. But tulip I-cord knitters for my shopping. Like this one. And crochet hooks and stuff like that. Like these. Because I was getting a bit low. And so what happened was I put in an order and then I sold even more. So I should have put in a bigger order, but didn't get round to it. So I'm actually searching for a really good either interchangeable or just fixed cord knitting needle for me to try. I've got the Canina swivels, and they are tulip, but they're bamboo, and I'm not sure that I'll get on with bamboo ones. I've never knitted with bamboo. I've only ever knitted with bog standard old-fashioned cruddy ones. They're the ones that I get on with, and they slip and slide just right for me. So, you know, someone said, you know, in your part, you always have the saying, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. But, you know, if you want to make a blanket or a shawl, you need a big old sort of long cord. So I think I want to try it. I want to try getting used to knitting with one of them. So, yeah, I'm used to like having a needle, knitting the length of it, turning it round and knitting it back again. If you've got a cord, do you do the same thing when you're finished? What's to stop you just keep going round and round, and you don't want a round? I guess you kind of know when to start and finish. I've never done it, you see, so it's kind of playing on my brain just a bit. Anyway, yeah, my day's been a bit hanging around, waiting. Oh, the worst thing in the world. I have to cook a really nice meal today. I was going to do it yesterday, but I noticed that the mac and cheese that I had in the fridge was yesterday's date, and I didn't want it to go over. I don't mind it going over a day or so, because you know those dates, they're always just a little leeway built into them. But I didn't want to leave it too long, so I figured we'd have that. And plus Gary had bought garlic bread, and he put sort of pepperonis on. It's beautiful. He bought all that, and I thought, you know what, I'll do that tomorrow then. So I have to, as soon as I finish doing this, go out and start spud bashing and getting ready, because I said I wanted to do a roast. Now I don't think Gary would care if I did mash, but I don't know, I feel like a roasty, but I'm not absolutely 100% sure on it, because I do like mashed potato with minty gravy and peas. Oh, I like mashed potato peas with any kind of gravy, to be honest. My favourite thing. So I'm really unsure what to do. And tomorrow, Gary's brother is going to come over for dinner. He's on his own, so he's going to come over. And Gary's going to make a casserole, I think. So in some respects, we have more... when we went to Marks and Spencer's, we bought all these ready meals, and I've still got some. So I don't want them to go out of date. I might have to freeze them. If I look and the dates are fine, I might have to freeze them, because otherwise that's another couple of days before I can eat them. I want to get on this diet. I mean, we still have goodies in the house. I made a flan yesterday. Oh my God, it's amazing. A picture of it. I can show. It's not finished. This was just halfway through making it. And I've sent a picture to Victoria. So this is my flan. There. It was strawberries sliced, raspberries and blueberries. And I'm not sure if you across the pond have ever had one of these, but they're like a spongy flan, but they're firm, and you get the case and then you can fill it. And my mum always used to put peaches and mandarins in hers, but Gary doesn't like them. He doesn't really like tinned. So we bought strawberries and raspberries. I sliced them all up and I put them in. And then the quick gel on top. And I used 2 packs because it was not going to cover it. And then last night we had that with cream, watching the end of Penguin. Oh my God. It was amazing. We've still got the rest to eat today. But it was the best flan I've ever had, because obviously strawberries, raspberries and a little bit of blueberry does not have to compete with peaches and mandarin in any way. My mum always used to try and make me eat it, but you know, it's nice, but it's not like strawberries and it's not mandarin, strawberries and raspberries. That was phenomenal. So yeah, looking forward to eating the last bit this evening with some cream. And we did buy some Christmas pudding to have as a dessert on Christmas Day, and we didn't actually have it. We had something else. So those Christmas puddings are still in the cupboard. And this happened, I'm sure, last year, where they just sat there and sat there and sat there, and we ate them at some ridiculous part of the year. So I'm said to Gary, you know, I'm not going to do this anymore. Not going to get all that. I've said it a million times, but we were planning on having quite a few people over, because obviously Jamie was going to stay, and then Charlotte and everybody was coming over, and then Paul and Victoria coming over, and then you've got Michael and Eleonora coming over. So in theory, the food that we had should have gone, but it didn't all go. And we couldn't have Martin over because they were ill. So yeah, we got left with rather a lot, and we had so much in the way of sweeties as well that we're still ploughing through them. But as soon as we can, I'm going to start getting on a diet. And first off, I believe 99.999% sure I'm going to do Slimming World at first, because we've got Valentine's Day and my birthday then, which we have plans for. So, you know, there's no point in going on a diet and cheating on it, and then going on a diet and cheating on it. We might as well just do one we can build it into the diet. And then later on, if we want to, once all those kind of festivities are over and I want to maybe get on, that was lucky, I could have spilled it all over me. We will get on and perhaps change it. I don't know. We'll see how we're getting on with it. I'm going to have to finish it. It's getting cold. Never used to be able to do that in front of you guys. Amazing. Amazeballs, that is. I do love this chicken. Oh, I nearly forgot to do it, didn't I? I did forget to do it one day, didn't I? But now we are back on track. So it's Wednesday for you. We have a Grogu day. Look at that. Oh, isn't he cute? He's so cute. They really haven't got into the Friday thing, but maybe it can be a Wednesday. I have looks like Cantonar, but it isn't. I have what the word is. Hang on, I'm going to get a bit of light on the subject. Camtono. I have a Camtono of Beskar waiting for you upon delivery of the asset. That was the client, and the client was after. I don't know what a Camtono is. Obviously, it's a unit of measurement in that. But this was what the cargo was. Bad men. Of course it didn't go that way, did it? Because Mando couldn't resist him. Who could? Nobody. Right, glasses back on. Oh, okay, what we got today? At MacGyvering M22. So, for those of you in England that don't know, MacGyver was a TV show where he kind of gerrymandered things that would end up working. So, and he was in, I had a face explosion. Stargate was the guy, you know, the guy who's in it. I don't remember his name. Never mind. I thought I'd been the type of mum who wakes up at 5 a.m. just so I can get a workout in before the kids get up. I was totally right. I wasn't. I've been looking into getting a bigger car, not because I want more kids, but because I want more space from the ones I already have. When my kids are fighting, if you listen very carefully, you can hear the sound of me opening a bottle of wine. Well, I never used to do that. I was a good girl. I didn't open wine. I never was one for drinking during the day, you know, or even early evening. And I might occasionally, and after all I said the other day, have maybe a bottle of Chilean red with a pizza, or maybe a bottle of Stella with a pizza, but I never really drank. And the reason I didn't drink was because at the time my then partner did, and it put me right off of drinking. The only time I ever drank was if I went out, and you know, then I didn't if he was with me, I couldn't drink because I had to make sure we all got home, and you know, wasn't very reliable in that respect. But yeah, I never really was a drinker. Even when I was young and, you know, you're experimenting with stuff and going out with your friends, I'd drink Coke because I was stupid enough with that. I didn't need alcohol inside me to be crazy and have a great time. So I've never been one that drank much, but occasionally, when I got older, I would go out and have a few Bombay Sapphire gins, or maybe some Copperbergs and stuff like that, or Brothers cider, the fruity ones like strawberry and lime. Well, they did strawberry cider first. Those sort of things. But I was never really a massive drinker. Like, don't drink a drop now. Don't drink a drop. But back then, never really was much of one. It's not something that I can say hand on heart I miss, because I didn't really do it that much. But I do miss certain things, like sometimes we used to go in the local pub, and I would drink cherry Coke then, because they used to have Diet Cherry in there. It's really nice. The original one, the very first ever one. Tastes a bit like prune juice, but I loved it. And I would drink that most of the time. And occasionally I'd have a chocolate Baileys. So I miss that. I do miss that. And sometimes as well, I miss when I'd pop into a Wetherspoons, because I know their double Bombay Sapphire and tonic was lovely. And I did kind of miss the odd one of those. Or in the local pub where I met Gary, near my house, they used to do kind of strawberry gin, which was really, really nice, and I'd miss one of those. They used to do two for, so I'd have one and one in the bottle, that sort of thing. So, you know, have a couple, but I never really drank to excess. But I do miss that sort of little bits and pieces. But I was never one to open wine or need a wine. You know, like, I work with people, especially at the ambulance service, highly stressful, very, very fast-paced, stressful job. And even on a night shift, when I went home to bed, they were, I can't wait to have a couple of vodkas before I go to bed. And I was like, really? That would keep me awake, you know. And I can't wait to open my bottle of wine. They'd down that, and then go to bed. So I was never one to do anything like that. I never felt ever to need. I never needed to ever drink. I only ever had one when I fancied the odd, or maybe was a party. So, or I used to do, for a while, I used to do cocktail nights every Christmas Eve, and I'd either start off with a little book making them and end up just designing my own, you know. But yeah, those kind of social events was the only time I ever really had a tipple anyway. But when I met Gary, that all changed, and he used to take me out, and we'd be listening to music, and then when we'd get back, he'd never really wanted the night to end, so we would carry on a little bit. But then for the first time ever, well, not ever, but for the first time in many, many years, I actually went out, had a drink with somebody, came home with that person, and didn't have to make sure that A, they got home, B, that they got undressed, C, that they got to bed, and D, that they didn't choke on their own sick. You know, it's like, wow, someone I can actually have a proper drink, you know, in moderation with, sort of thing. That I didn't have to be the sober one. I am now, you know, I'm the one who drives us there, or drives us home. I let him drive us there, and I drive us home because we've not had a drink. But he does miss the fact that I don't drink. He does miss it. He misses his drinking buddy, but I don't miss it in that respect, because I didn't drink enough to miss, you know. But I suppose sometimes when we would be listening to music outside of an evening, sitting on the decking, those sort of things tend to not happen now, because I don't do it, and Gary always feels like there's no point in doing it on my own. So that's sad, you know. I do miss that, and I won't be going back to it, that's for sure. So I don't know how I got onto that, really. Off on one of my tangents again. Off on one of my tangents. So yeah, now I've got to put these videos on and go out the Onavan and start packing goodies for people while my dinner cooks, which is a bit of a nightmare because the postie and delivery FedEx man took so long in delivering my stuff. But you know, and when it's a good job I didn't just go out there and thinking there's a doorbell, because when I did open the door to the postman, he said, "Oh, your doorbell's not working." And I said, "Is it not?" And he pressed it and it worked. He went, "That's funny, because I just pressed it 3 times." and it didn't do it. And I went, you must have dislodged it. You know, maybe it was stuck. So, yeah, good job I did stay in the house and wait. The only reason I do that is because that, you know, even though I have a doorbell, 9 times out of 10 people don't see that doorbell and don't ring it, which is unfortunate because, you know, I get it so that it rings really loud out there in the yarn van. And it works to a certain extent when people press it. You know, it just don't work when they don't. Obvs. So yeah, my internet out there is a little bit screwed up at the minute. That was Gary's fault, to be honest with you, because Gary had multi-room for Sky, and he had that in there, like in the bedroom, and it works as a relay. So I've got like Sky comes into the house, that's the internet, or BT rather, comes into the house at the front, and then the relays take it through the house. And because the Sky multi-room thing didn't work, Gary decided to pack it all away and figured, don't need that internet then. So I kept looking and thinking, why is the internet in the yarn van either flashing orange or red, and the one in the hallway the same? It's because he turned that one off. So I'm going to try and get them all working again. I went, why did you do this to me? I didn't know. Is he a silly man? There you go. She agrees with me. Anyway, I'm going to get off. I love my chicken. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now. Take care, everyone.